There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Time again for the Underdog Show, starring that champion of champions, Underdog.
Not a bird, not a plane, not even a frog. Just little old me, Underdog.
There's MC and his buddy Chumley, go gophers on the run. The stories of McBride outrageous, no one could be more courageous. Underdog, 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 Underdog. Join the king in Bongo Congo, meet a cat with savoir-faire. Go watch the hunter chase the bocce shooters on the rocks, and then there's Underdog.
Simon Bar Sinister, with Sweet Polly in his clutches, had landed on the moon. And now he was threatening to use his monstrous weather machine against the Earth.
I warn you that unless you do just as I ask, I shall cause weather which will wipe you out.
You're only trying to frighten us, Simon Bar Sinister. We don't believe in your machine.
No? Then allow me to demonstrate for you. Simon says, rain.
He really did it.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
With blinding speed, the powerful Underdog bored his way down through the Capitol floor into the ground, then through miles of earth until he reached the nearest ocean. And the water in the Capitol building poured harmlessly out to sea.
Look at that, boss. Underdog made a built-in drain.
You see, you fiend, you can never win over Underdog.
That, Sweet Polly, was only a very small test of my weather machine. Wait until you see the next one.
Great job, Underdog. But Simon says his next demonstration will be even worse.
Simon says, lightning!
An outrage. Do something, Underdog.
And Underdog did do something. He actually chased the unpredictable bolt of lightning. And finally, he squeezed the bolt of lightning in his powerful hands, then zoomed through the roof of the Capitol. And at last, Underdog tossed the bolt of lightning harmlessly into the sky.
He did it again, boss.
You will never win over Underdog.
Well, let us see what Underdog can do with a tornado.
Underdog, Simon says he's going to try a tornado.
Simon says, tornado twist.
It'll destroy the office furniture. It's an outrage.
That tornado has wind as strong as gales, but I'll knock the wind out of its sails.
You failed again, Simon Bar Sinister.
Wait a minute, boss. I got an idea. Eureka, kid! You've struck it.
Give up, Simon. Underdog has won.
Underdog has stopped rain, then lightning, then a tornado. But can he stop all at once? If you do not agree to make me dictator of all Earth, I shall press every key on my weather machine all at once.
This looks like too much even for Underdog. How could even he stop tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, all at once? The dramatic answer lies ahead in our next thrilling episode.
One afternoon not long ago, an impressive ceremony took place at the Megapolis Zoo. All the dignified dignitaries were there for the dedication of a beautiful new clock. The mayor even made a speech.
And so, as mayor of this great city, it gives me great pleasure to present this great clock to this great zoo. Yes, and I know that Stanley Livingston, keeper of the zoo, will take great care of it.
Mr. Mayor, on behalf of the zoo, I want to thank you and the city for this magnificent timepiece. I shall guard it with my very life.
Later that day, Chumley, who had not attended the dedication ceremony, was practicing his favorite sport and selected what he considered the perfect target.
Chumley!
I shot an arrow into the air.
Chumley!
Oh, gee, Tennessee. Bullseye!
Oh, beautiful, Chumley, beautiful. Do you know what you've done? You've just shot an arrow into Stanley's new clock. Give me that bow.
Gee, Tennessee, I really didn't know.
Well, it's lucky for you Stanley Livingston wasn't around to see what you did. If he saw that arrow in his new clock, and then saw this bow in my hands...
Well, Tennessee, this time you've gone too far.
But, Stanley, I didn't...
Go!
Go where?
Go and get the arrow out of my clock. Now!
But how can I reach it? How can I...
Go! I will be out of the zoo for 1 hour. If that arrow is still in the clock when I return, I'll skin you alive.
And so Tennessee and Chumley headed nervously for the clock tower to bring back the arrow.
Hurry, Chumley. The first thing to do is to locate that arrow. See what's behind that door. Chumley, stop hanging around out there. Have you got the arrow or haven't you? And stop oohing and ahhing. This is no time for sightseeing. Get back in here.
Gee, Tennessee, I couldn't reach the arrow. It's up by the roof.
Well, we've got to get it. Maybe that ladder. Up you go. Oh, no. Now you've done it. You've broken the clock. And look at the time. The clock's supposed to strike right now. If the chimes don't ring, everybody will know that we've broken the clock. Strike the gong. Strike the gong.
What with? What with?
Anything you can get your hands on. Hey, wait! That's really using the old bean, Chumley. But now, get to work. We've got less than an hour to fix this clock before Stanley Livingston gets back.
Fearful of what Stanley Livingston would do to them if he found they had broken the clock, Tennessee and Chumley worked desperately until finally...
All right, Chumley. I think we've got it now. Clock should be as good as new. All we have to do is to go outside and reset the hands.
Gee, Tennessee,
The ledge is too narrow? Don't be ridiculous, Chumley. There's plenty of room out there. Come on. My watch says 10 after 3. We'll set the little hand at 3 and the big hand at 2. There. Good as new. Tennessee Tuxedo will not fail.
Tennessee,
I know. You think it's time to see Mr. Whoopi. Well, you are right. We've only got 30 minutes left before Stanley Livingston gets back. So that's the problem, Mr. Whoopi. We've got to get that clock fixed before Stanley gets back to the zoo, or we've had it.
Well, then, we'll have to make every minute count. Oh, yes. I can explain it best with the three-dimensional blackboard. Now, where did I put that 3D BB? Oh, yes, in the closet, I guess. Ah, yes, here it is. The fantastic, fabulous, fancily flamboyant 3D BB. Now, a clock is a device for telling time. The first device for telling time was the sundial. A shadow pointed to the hour. But, of course, the sundial was absolutely useless on a cloudy day. Another early timepiece was the water clock. Water dripped from one container to another, and as the water level rose, a floating stick told how many hours had passed.
That's pretty interesting, Mr. Whoopi, but I don't think Stanley Livingston would go for a water clock. We'd better start learning how to fix the big clock.
Yes, well, yes. The kind of clock you're talking about was invented about 1,000 years ago. And the basic principle is the same today as it was then. Power to run the clock comes from a falling weight. The weight is attached to a cord which is wrapped around a drum. The drum was attached by a system of gears to the hands of the clock. Now, as the weight fell, it pulled the cord, which turned the drum, which turned the gears, which moved the hand, which told the time. However, in the early days of clocks, the weight would fall too fast, and the clocks didn't keep very good time. Then someone got the idea of fastening a pendulum to the clock. As the pendulum swings back and forth, it moves an arm which is connected to the teeth of the gears and alternately starts them and stops them so that the weight falls at just the right speed and the clock keeps good time.
Does my watch have weights and a pendulum too?
Oh, no, my boy. Your watch uses a spring instead of weights and a flywheel instead of a pendulum. Other clocks use electricity and even atomic power. But the clock in the zoo uses weights and a pendulum like this.
Phineas J. Whoopi, you're the man of the hour. Thanks a million. Come on, Chumley.
Rushing back to the zoo and climbing the long stairs in the tower, our two heroes set to work, sure that now they could fix the clock.
Quick, Chumley, we've just got 10 minutes left before Stanley gets back to the zoo. I'll check this weight. Chumley! Get me out of here! Get me out of here!
And so, working diligently, putting to use all they had learned from Mr. Whoopi, Tennessee and Chumley finally managed to repair the giant clock. And just in the nick of time.
We just made it, Chumley. Stanley Livingston is due back right this minute. Let's get out of here. The arrow.
The arrow?
We forgot the arrow. It's still in the clock. No, Chumley. I'll go up and get the arrow. Remember what happened when you tried it? You see, Chumley? Tennessee Tuxedo does not fail.
When the counterfeit newspaper caper was followed closely by the Lend-Lease library lock, the hunter's paperwork piled up tremendously. Unquestionably, the hunter needed help.
brings all the news that's fit to use. Can I help you?
Ma'am, this is the Hunter. I need some office help.
Wanted?
No, I want a secretary, a private secretary. See, I'm a private eye.
Male or female?
That's an insult, ma'am. I'm a red-blooded son of the South.
I meant the secretary.
Oh, yeah, why, of course. Well, I'd say a female, one of them Marilyn Macaroni types from southern Italy, of course. Yeah.
We'll run your ad right away.
I saw your ad in the paper.
Well, now that's fast work. What's your name, little lady?
Friday Fox. I'm a private secretary.
I see. Sort of a first-class private? Yeah. Oh, that's a joke, ma'am. I say,
These are my references.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, no need for references. I can see you've got an honest face. Now, as you can tell, there's a lot of cleaning up the office needs. I'll just step down to the corner for a bite of lunch while you go to work. What's the cotton bloomin' weather coming to? Snow in June? And I say, look at the size of those flakes. Biggest I ever saw. Snowflakes? That's a shame. I say, no wonder they don't let it snow in Dixie. Hold on here, ma'am. I said to clean up, not clean out the office.
We were robbed.
Robbed, you say? Well, now, that's a mean trick, ma'am. How'd they get away with the loot?
Over here. They carried the furniture along this ledge and out onto the roof.
Well, have no fear. The Hunter's on the job. I'll just mosey out on this ledge and I'll see what... Hey, the sledge is lipping. I mean, the lodge is slopping. Help! Help! Take a letter to Officer Flim Flanagan. Dear Flim, according to my precise calculations, my office furniture has been stolen. I hope you can get a clue on the case. In the meantime, I've taken care of that $1 million payroll. The armored truck will turn the corner of Broadway and 42nd Street at precisely 3 o'clock. I alone know the time and place, and I am the Hunter. Must have blown the old horn a little hard there. I say, ma'am, where are you? Where are you? Where in the cotton bloomin' where? Oh, there you are, ma'am. Yeah, you had the old Hunter worried about your pretty head.
I thought you wanted your letter to get to Officer Flanagan fast, so I delivered it in person.
Good girl. Now, this is the Hunter. Have nose, will hunt. What's that? Oh, Flim Flanagan's on his way over? You say I'm in trouble. Now, see here, son. I am the carpetbaggers. Surrounded by incompetence.
Hunter, this time you're in trouble. Only you knew about that armored car, and now it's been stolen. How could you? Aha! I might have known it. The fox and the cash. And me thinking you'd gone bad. Oh, now, how can we ever make it up to you, Hunter?
Well, now, son, a little office furniture would help. You see, somebody took it out the window, and I was down there on the ledge.
What happened, officer? It's simple, me boy. Just another case, solved by the world's greatest private eye.
Who is that man with the silver horn?
That, me boy, is the Hunter.
Simon Bar Sinister, on the moon with Sweet Polly still in his clutches, now threatened to press every key on his diabolical weather machine all at once, unless the Earth agreed to make him dictator.
Unless you want hurricanes and earthquakes and floods all at once, I command you to surrender to me. I give you 1 hour to make your decision.
Don't do it, Earth. Stop this fiend.
Would the hurricanes and floods and earthquakes all at once be too much, even for you?
With so much happening, though I would be here, the storms would hurt many people, I fear.
Then you've got to get to the moon and destroy that weather machine before the hour is up.
If Simon saw me coming to stop his folly, the fiend might dare to harm sweet Polly.
You're right, Underdog. And also, the moment I saw you nearing the moon, I would press every key on my weather machine and destroy the Earth. This is Simon Bar Sinister signing off for 1 hour.
They must stop you somehow.
It looks like the Earth will have to surrender to Simon. You are our only hope.
Never let evil win the day. Where there is a will, there is a way.
But Simon said if he saw you coming...
He can't fight what he can't see. And what he can't see will soon be me.
Realizing that this exploit would take all possible strength, Underdog took the Underdog Energy Vitamin Pill from the secret compartment of his ring. And then he began to spin.
He's beginning to spin so fast you can barely see it. He's disappeared. He must have gone through the roof. Where is he?
He's dissolved.
That's amazing. Well, sweet Polly Purebred, your dear friends on Earth have only 30 minutes left. And they've not dared to send anyone here to the moon.
If only there was something I could do.
There is nothing anyone can do. Cad, you clumsy ox. What was the meaning of that?
Meaning of what, boss?
You struck me. You butted me.
But I didn't mean to, boss. It was like I was pushed.
Oh, strike me, winner. Take this.
It was like magic. Underdog. Oh, I might have known. You made yourself invisible and saved the Earth.
Simon and Cad and the machine have failed. We'll take them to Earth where they'll be jailed.
Oh, Underdog. You're wonderful.
Well, Underdog, you're wonderful.
And the heroic Underdog headed back toward Earth. But what new perils await Underdog and Sweet Polly back on Earth? Don't miss our next thrilling episode.
Oh.